Hello guys, my name is Anna and I'm a Ukrainian, and I have decided I will vlog daily from my country Ukraine since the start of this awful war with Russia. And in my daily videos I try to update you on the important real life situations in my country Ukraine, and of course I'm always glad to answer your questions and to clarify some facts from our history, our culture, our background, or whatever interests you. And I'm also extremely grateful for the fact that you follow the news in Ukraine, you continue supporting us as this war continues, and our victory is extremely important for the safety of the planet. Very often we get these questions, aren't you afraid of the third world war? Because it can all turn into nuclear bombing. Putin often threatens the world than many other countries that have nuclear weapons are supposed to answer. There are doubts, will they, should they, and so on. So first of all, when I get this question about the Third World War, personally I think it has already started, at least in Putin's head. And if you look at his behavior within the last decades, his attack on Georgia, his disrespect to many other international agreements and borders, his attack and annexation of Crimea, Donbass, Moldova, then Transnistria, and Chechnya, all of these things, these are separate conflicts, these are separate wars, but altogether they can lead to a major war that will actually be later called the Third World War. And now, as we look at the global politics in Ukraine, we are extremely worried that many things can disappear from the agenda as other problems appear. And recently, all the world observed Nancy Pelosi and her plane flying to Taiwan. I have some subscribers from Taiwan who very much support Ukraine and believe we have to win this war. And I'm not into international politics, and I do have some subscribers who ask me not to equate the situation between Ukraine and Taiwan, but still many international observers agree that the victory of Ukraine and the failure of Russia can be very symbolic and important for some decisions made in China. Definitely there are superpowers like Russia and China, and I'm convinced that Putin received a permission of China before he invaded Ukraine. I'm not saying that China is against Ukraine, but they were definitely supporting Russia. But in future, I see China swallowing Russia. And in Ukraine, we have this joke, like recently I have come across it just somewhere next to Pelosi's visit. There was a phrase like, oh, China, why do you need Taiwan? You can take Russia. So maybe not in a military way, but slowly. I know that lots of far eastern Russian cities are already silently occupied by Chinese enterprises, companies, I don't know, other things. Lots of people coming to live there from China, and slowly they change the identity of those cities. But the whole world observed the reaction of China during Pelosi's visit, and there were lots of statements, pretty aggressive, and perhaps the demonstration that the United States are not afraid to cause anxiety and nerves in Chinese government, and the reaction was pretty visible. And recently Putin has met with Erdogan, and Turkey is a very interesting country that tries to play with both sides, and there are lots of things that Ukrainians are grateful for Turkey. For example, Bayraktars, they are one of the most popular words here, and very often they are just presented to Ukraine, and other things. At the beginning, the negotiations were tried in Turkey. I'm sorry, the bird, but I hope you don't mind it. Ukrainian nature, you know. So now they are negotiating grain. They want to use Turkey as a platform for trade. Also, Turkey agrees to buy gas and other natural resources in rubles, and that is a bad precedent, I would say. And of course, I do understand that the traditions of Turkey are pretty close to authoritarian, and there are lots of positive moves made by Erdogan, but also lots of quite authoritarian moves. And that is a problem because authoritarian leaders often have much in common and they can negotiate. For me, the very question that Putin can visit and meet other politicians is already a problem, because I think he should sit isolated somewhere in his bunker, and the main task of the international community is just to figure out where this bunker exactly is to blow it up. Also, in the European Union, many people start talking about cold winters and prices for gas. Happily, I learned that many countries like Italy, like Spain, and even Germany, that is very dependent on Russian resources, already think on some storages. And maybe before the start of the heating season, they will be able to have enough gas so that they won't be dependent on Russia. And of course, this allows them to continue their support of Ukraine. But today, gas and other resources, oil, petrol, are used to manipulate politicians and to manipulate citizens who are not very much into politics. And that is a dangerous situation because Russia is a very shrewd player. And typically in their so-called diplomacy, they use various blackmail, manipulation technologies, threats, and so on. So to tell you the truth, as this war continues and it turns into a different, really slow phase, we are extremely worried that the world will slowly distract from Ukraine, accept this situation, and focus on some other problems, and altogether they can cause the real Third World War, something that Putin might keep in his head, and that will definitely be a tragedy for all the mankind. So I do believe that it is extremely important to stop dictators like Putin, to ruin regimes like Putin's at the very beginning, somewhere in Georgia, for example, because unpunished evil grows. They get their strength, they get the supporters among other authoritarian regimes like, I don't know, the Northern Korea, Iran, Syria, and as a result, they continue bullying, they continue threatening the world and being tolerant, trying to avoid victims, trying to avoid mass murders. People start negotiating, and as a result we only lose, because you cannot negotiate with people who came to kill you and who are not afraid to violate all international rules to that can lead to the Third World War. So it is extremely important for us to continue talking about Ukraine and to try to stop this war here. Definitely it is not our choice to become a battlefield of Europe, to become a battlefield of the world, but now, after so many houses and infrastructures ruined, so many people died, we don't have other choice just to defeat Russians on our territory and to win this war and to free world from such gloomy perspectives. Thank you very much for watching my vlogs, and if you like them, please subscribe, because I believe that the world needs to know more about these real life situations in Ukraine. Thank you for buying me coffees, for becoming my patrons. Slava Ukraini!